Yeah, I'm not Fabrizio Romano, so I can't say here we go. But the Super Eagles of Nigeria just defeated São Tomé and Príncipe by 6 goals to nothing. And I got this message from someone that said, uh, I don't want to mention, okay, his name is Tony. Tony Adelawan said that why would you beat a team 10 goals to nothing away from home and come home and win 6-0 and be forming big boys? Well, I don't know why people think like this, but Tony, you have the right to think the way you want to think. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, but just going to. So I'm looking at your message, but I'm just going to look at some things and say here that São Tomé and Príncipe conceded 26 goals in this tournament, in these qualifiers. Of those 26, 16 were scored by Nigeria. So if São Tomé is really that bad, Sierra Leone and Guinea would have scored more. Remember that one of the things that people forget, this group also had Mauritius, but they pulled out of the qualifiers. But this group had Mauritius. Maybe a lot of people would have forgotten about it, but that's the truth. Now, Nigeria scoring 22 goals in the qualifiers is a good sign of the squad that we've got, the attacking prowess that we've got. But at the same time, there's still a lot of deficiency with the team. But I don't want to put it on that side of the conversation that Tony took it from. And I don't know what you think, but you have the right to put your opinion in the comment section. I think that what I saw in this game reflects back to what I said when Nigeria played against Canada and Australia in the Women's World Cup. And I said that there is a science to the madness of Nigerian football. That every time there is a crisis, that we've got our back to the wall, we seem to put up a very, very good performance. So in today's game, while we all agree that the opposition sometimes does not define the team, so we can't justify our 6-0 win, we can't justify our play. That's what some school of thought is going to say. But I dare say to people that not too many times have I seen the Super Eagles, okay, win with a wide margin and go for the return leg. So let's do a little bit of history dive. And the most successful coach in the history of Nigeria, they say, is Clemens Vesterhoff. He qualified us for our first World Cup in 1993, and we went to the World Cup in 94. Also won the Nations Cup, the second Nations Cup of Nigeria, first Nations Cup outside of this country. Now, one of the things you need to look at is we beat Ethiopia 6-0. That's on the Lisa's debut game under Clemens Vesterhoff. We beat Burkina Faso 7-1 under Clemens Vesterhoff. We beat South Africa 4-0. We beat Algeria 4-1. And we beat Cote d'Ivoire 4-1. All under Clemens Vesterhoff. But think about it for a minute. We beat South Africa here, their first competitive game, the World Cup qualifiers against Nigeria here. We beat them, that team that had, I think, Philemon Masinga, Dr. Kumalo, and the rest, the old guard. But we went away to South Africa and it was 0-0. That was one of the best squad that Nigeria has ever had. Playing against some guys who were coming from not just appetite, but slavery, clear slavery. Yet, we went to South Africa, we could not score a single goal. We had Rashidi Yakini, Richard Obokiri, and the likes in that away game. Now, fast forward to the game against Burkina Faso. I think it was played in Ibadan, if my memory serves me right. That was the game where we forgot our soccer pants. That's what they call it, a playing pant, the knicker, the shorts. And we had to cut the tracksuit as short and to play. We won that game 7-1. I think Rashidi Yakini scored a hat-trick or 4 goals in that game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure. I'm not standing my foot on that one. But in the away game, we played a draw again. I'm just using that analogy to mirror something. That there are not two games in football that are the same. And the mere fact that you beat a team 10-0 does not necessarily mean in the return leg, anywhere it is played, whether you're home or away, you will not beat them another 10-0. But then let's come to this game. Now let's talk about this game a bit. I think what I love about this game is how Joseph Peseiro rose above the crisis leading to this game. The whole, he will not be the coach, he's not going to be in charge, all those contract talk. he played the big man. He showed such level of maturity that I've not seen in a long time, right? The NFF tried to create a situation whereby he will get angry and walk away. Well, guess what? We told him, you have to cut your backroom staff. He said yes. He checked that, boss. We have to take away $10,000 from your $70,000 a month salary. He said yes again. He checked that, boss. You have to stay in Nigeria and you have to double your work. Remember, he's working only as a Super Eagles coach. And they said, oh, no. The money we're paying you should take care of two teams. So you are going to stay in Nigeria more. You're going to travel around the country more. You're going to coach the Chan Eagles. Again, what the NFF thought they were doing was say, okay, the man will get angry. But in reality, what the NFF have just shown is that all those local backroom coaches that they have should not be around the Super Eagles because they are incompetent. If they are not incompetent, why are they not the ones handling the Chan Eagles? Finidi George coaches Eyimba, meaning he goes around the league 38 times, 19 at home and 19 on the road. He should be penciling down players in the league. He's the defending champion of the league. Should be penciling down players in the league, assembling them together, getting them to play. He's the manager of the biggest club in Nigeria. Guess what? The NFF cannot trust him. So they say, okay, if you're going to coach Nigeria, Joseph Peseiro, the Super Eagles, not only the foreign players, you are not going to take the Chan Eagles. It's an indictment on the Nigerian players, not the Nigerian coaches, not necessarily because somebody said to me some time ago, it's up here. His name is Dile. Dele said, Edafi, you see this coach that you are always defending, I told you he's not good enough. What sensible coach would agree to a pay cut, agree to extra work, yet still agree to the job? Now, Dele, the sense behind it is, not everybody is so foolish to work very hard, build something, and then allow pride and ego deny them the opportunity to enjoy the benefit. It came in when we failed to qualify for the World Cup, when we went to the Nations Cup and ended in the round of 16, something that we've not experienced in a very long time. So what he did was to say, you know what, I have suffered, I've put this team together, I started from the scratch, the team didn't have a goalkeeper, there's crisis here and there, I was losing friendly matches, but in the qualifiers, I've lost only one game to Guinea at home, and now I'm going to take this team to the Nations Cup. Make sure, one, I get to the target, which is get to the semifinals. And if possible, do one better by getting to the finals and then do the ultimate by winning it. If I am done with that and I don't like what is going on, my manager, my agent would have had enough profile to market me to a bigger country like Morocco. I might have to go to the Moroccans for the earthquake that they suffered. May God help you guys to get through it. Especially for a country that has invested in sport very well. I felt sad when I heard that news. Not like any other country deserves to have earthquake, but I just feel like Morocco are on the rise and they deserve better. But hey, let's move on. So that's the reason, Dele, as per your question. So that's the reason why the manager have chosen to take all of this. Don't forget that the working conditions are terrible. But again, good thing. Now let's talk about the team because I like to stay on that front. If you look at the Super Eagles today, what you have in that squad, what is beautiful in that squad is, for once, every single position have minimum two players. Minimum two players. Let's look at it. Francis Uzoho started in goal, but you know that if Francis Uzoho did not do his job, there is Adeleye to take over and he will just do exactly the same job. Well, let's not forget that we're playing São Tomé and Príncipe anyway. He's not supposed to be a threat. Okay, we have Oyemechi playing from left fullback. And we have Bassi playing in central back with Semi Ajayi. And I thought that Bassi did a very good job. Kind of like playing like the Pep Guardiola type of centre back who invert or convert themselves into midfield when the team is going forward. São Tomé and Príncipe, they have a shot on target. You might say this is not the best game to rate this team. Everybody was meant to do well against an opposition that is part-time players, Johnny Men and the rest of them. Semi Ajayi was there. Olaina was You know, I've always said that he's a fantastic player. He just needs to get a good run of games and he would do well. Frank Onyeka did a very good job, just as well as Wilfred Ndidi. Look at that pass, that sublime pass that led to the penalty for Victor Osimhen. And Ademola Lookman, well done for coming in and scoring the second goal from the start. That's a very good one. Victor Osimhen, I mean, what am I really going to say about Victor Osimhen that have not been said before? What is there about Victor Osimhen that I need to tell you now that you don't already know? It's like me coming to tell you that, oh, Messi is a good player or Cristiano Ronaldo is a fantastic goal scorer. Are you kidding? Like, everybody knows that. And Taiwo Awoniyi, but my player of the match, I don't know, I know because Osimhen scored 3 goals, everybody will say Osimhen. My player of the match today is Kelechi Iheanacho. He didn't give any foot wrong. His crosses were good. His passes were sublime. His touch on the ball was excellent. But what about that deft touch? Some people say it's a fluke. Some people say it's a mistake. But the movement that led to the third goal by Victor Osimhen was beautiful. In Warri, we used to say, Jaga Jaga make me fine. You can call it anything you want to call it. Kelechi, Samuel Chukwu is heading the ball backward. Wilfred Ndidi getting that knock. And then Chukwu is moving and then leading to the goal. Everything was beautiful. But what is really nice here is Victor Osimhen, Taiwo Awoniyi knowing that there is another pair of Gift Urban and Victor Boniface that can replace them. And they are playing well, right? Then in midfield, Wilfred Ndidi know that there is Onyedika, there is Frank Onyeka and all that. And then there is also Joe Aribo, not knowing that Kelechi Iheanacho can drop into that position and play in that position and deliver very well. So you look at all of that, you see that there is competition for place in the team now. That is good for the Super Eagles going to the Nations Cup. Definitely, some players will cry, like you had with the Falcons, where a player wasn't selected and she went gung-ho. Some players will cry leading up to the Nations Cup in Cote d'Ivoire because they will not make the 23. But unfortunately, as bad as that would be for the player that falls into that group, I tell you, this is good. I'm looking at this Super Eagles and saying, before we even go to the Nations Cup, let's use this mentality, this spirit to play the World Cup qualifier starting in November. I still stand my ground that the Super Eagles have excellent attackers, midfield not really solid, below average in midfield, and also below average in defense. But, and goalkeeper, but if they can play as a unit, as a force, they would just get it right and deliver at the very highest level. My question to you, seeing the way the Eagles have qualified, winning 5 out of 6, and scoring 22 goals in all, are you one of those who already now believe that the Super Eagles will win the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire? I still think that the World Cup qualifier will be very tricky for us. If we're not careful, we might not qualify. I am very, very hopeful that we'll qualify. Nigerians don't want to hear this at all because they don't look at this next World Cup in Canada, US, and Mexico as a World Cup. They are looking at it as their get out of jail ticket, their opportunity to jackpot as football fan and all that. So they don't even want to hear that Nigeria is not qualifying. But I think it's going to be tough. I would love to hear your comment, your opinion, your view about this match, the World Cup qualifiers, and our chances at the next AFCON on the comment section. Having said that, thank you very much. Those are my kids trying to avoid the camera behind the scene. They're trying to take their dinner. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. And thanks to everyone who have already subscribed to our channel. But the goal is to first hit 150,000 subscribers and then hit that 1 million target that we set for ourselves at the beginning. There is nothing wrong if you suggest our channel to somebody. It doesn't cost you much. It doesn't also cost if you subscribe. It is free. Do want to subscribe and comment on all our section, on all our videos and our live show joining 9 a.m. Nigerian time till 10, sometimes 10:30 and 11. Thank you very much once again. My name is Edafe Matthew Esogene, your favorite sports analyst out of Nigeria. You love to call me the Elevator on a spot. God bless you and have a wonderful day.